Dracula.
So Nicolas Cage, we know that you are such a horror film, classic horror film, silent film aficionado. So how much of Bela Lugosi, Christopher Lee, Klaus Kinski, and even Peter Lowe is in your Dracula?
Right. Well, the Bela Lugosi was only in the beginning, in the title sequence, where both Nick and I were hearing playback of Dwight Frye and Bela Lugosi and trying to fit within the format of a 1931 Dracula movie. But beyond that, it was mostly channeling, I guess, Anne Bancroft as Mrs. Robinson and my own father, August Coppola. Those were the two flavors I was predominantly bringing as Dracula.
Why those two flavors? Why Mrs.
Because
Robinson?
my father was one of those people that when he walked into the room, he always spoke with eloquence and elegance, and he knew he was the smartest person in the room, and he made sure we knew it, and so he had this very kind of intimidating, authoritarian presence, and I thought that was appropriate for Dracula. And I liked the way he speaks. You know, let me tell you something, Nicholas. You know, let me explain something to you. And it was like very tense.
Interesting. And now, Nicholas, he may have denied it in the past, but that picture of the 1870 man who looks a lot like you is kind of a dead ringer.
Kind of a slowed down version of me.
Yeah. If you haven't seen this version of him.
I haven't.
Yeah. This is a real picture of a man from 1870. After working with him on Renfield, how likely is it that Nicolas Cage is Count Dracula?
Very likely.
Yeah.
I'm not the one that's dressed in the color of blood.
Yes.
So we dress sort of in the colors of war, blood, and death, and it's perfect for this movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there other characteristics that you've seen Nicolas inhabit that, you know, parallel to Count Dracula?
Parallel to Count Dracula.
I don't know where to go with that.
I'm not sure either. I don't think so. He's very charming.
Thank you.
So maybe that.
Yeah, Robert Kirkman said that you have a talking crow, and also you can turn
I see
into...
you're talking about my interest in goth.
Yeah.
Oh, well, sure, yeah. I like a bit of mist in the morning. I like London fog. I do have a crow, not a raven, a crow, a very well-dressed crow.
Well-dressed?
Yeah, well, he has this like ribbon of white feathers and everything else is black, kind of like the way I'm dressed right now, or like he's wearing a tuxedo, and he speaks quite a bit. Says hi every morning and bye when I leave the room. So yeah, I get where you're going.
Yeah.
I like that.
One of, also from your kind of love of goth and those things,
Right.
one of the best things Nick did for this script, I believe, the kind of final moment of Dracula in the original was kind of, I don't know, him kind of realizing the error of his ways and seeing that love did survive and help for Renfield, but instead you turned up and you're like, I don't want to say any of that. I want to double down on what Dracula believes. Hail Satan. and wrote this line that was just so perfect for that moment. It was brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah, well, there was more, but they cut it out. I wish that any good deed I ever have done be struck from my karmic record. And then he added the bit of like, I want to enjoy a season in hell where all the amusing people are.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that didn't make in the movie, he had one hell of a dance scene. I mean, he worked his ass off on that. It was he's a great dancer, and it didn't make it in the movie, but man, it was fantastic. Yeah.
There was a big fantasy dance sequence when he's first met Rebecca, Awkwafina's character, and he's kind of suddenly in love, and his world is shifting and changing, and there was a big dance routine with people dressed up as giant bugs, and it was a big number.
Speaking of the bugs, you ate 100 crickets through the shooting of this
probably
movie?
Around 100, yeah.
Was that the biggest challenge you had on set from day to
The
day?
cricket eating was actually fine. I only ate, the crickets were fine. I ate one potato bug, and that nearly pushed me over the edge because the taste of that was not good. But then I found out today that you ate cockroaches.
Yeah.
So now I feel like having caramel cockroaches on this was actually a little bit of a...
Yeah, mine were living.
Yeah.
For
They were
this?
alive, too.
No, it was for Vampire's Kiss.
Oh, right.
I'm trying to forget all about that.
Nicolas Cage may have denied being an immortal vampire in the past, but that photo from 1870, it's a dead ringer. Have you seen this one?
Yeah, it's him.
Yeah,
It's
right?
him. He's
Yeah.
He's a time traveler who's been around for a very long time.
Okay, so he's a time traveler.
I think he's a time traveler.
Okay.
Yeah, he can go to any time. He's seen the future. Have you asked him?
No.
He knows everything.
What's he know about the future?
Yeah, I can't tell you because then it'll affect the way that the future is. If I tell you what happens in the future, you're gonna change your life because something insane happens.
Oh.
I'm gonna
Wait,
tell
but-
you. You literally can't tell anybody.
Okay.
Elephants rule the world.
Oh.
I know, and they could talk. You remember Babar?
Yeah.
It's real.
Oh man, and they never forget, so I'm a little bit worried
That's
about how
exactly
I've treated
correct.
elephants and
I know.
talked about them in the past.
I
because-
worked at the Bronx Zoo for a summer, so I was very kind to elephants. I don't know what you're doing, but
No.
can I tell you honestly, you're in trouble.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you found out. So he's a time traveler.
He's a time traveler.
Yeah, because I was worried that he was actually Count Dracula.
Oh, he could be. He
Okay.
could be, because time traveler could be anything. He could be anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And besides being ageless, does he have other characteristics that he shares with a
Well, obviously
immortal
he's a
vampire?
master inventor if he's a time traveler. Do you know what I mean? He's an incredible actor. I'm assuming he's a great chef. I would have to assume Nick Cage is a great chef. These are me not knowing. I'm just guessing.
Okay.
But I'm assuming he knows Taekwondo. Has to know Taekwondo,
Yeah.
right? And I think he can talk to animals.
He gives off that vibe that he can talk to animals.
I would be shocked if he couldn't talk to animals.
He better. I mean, if the
And we can put
elephants
this
are
in his
coming-
IMDb now.
Yes,
This
yeah,
is
yeah,
fact,
yeah.
because I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, these are all the trivia voids that we're
Great.
gonna hit. Yeah.
Right. Right, in that trivia session.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah, definitely. So also I read that Nicholas Hoult ate about 100 crickets for this role in Renfield.
Wow, yes.
Yeah.
I can see that being true.
Yeah.
He's good and committed.
What was the biggest challenge that you faced?
Oh, I guess learning how to fight and have tattoos on every day, slicking back my hair every day and getting them removed. The fun thing about tattoos were they would stay on for 3 days, so when I was just out doing normal things, I would still be all tatted up, which is very fun. It's like a different response you get from people than normally, which is me. I have like negative tattoos on me now.
And would you try to show them off? Would you try to get people to see them a little bit? Or?
Once in a while, you're right. Once in a while, I'd wear like a shirt where I'd roll up my sleeves a little bit just to see if people cared.
Yeah.
Every now and then. And
We were hanging out in New Orleans,
mostly
like-
people didn't care.
Yeah.
Everybody else has tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
But
wasn't
it made
abnormal.
you feel cool.
Oh, it made me feel great.
Yeah. Getting the tattoos every day,
Yeah.
is that preferable to eating 100 crickets?
I would probably do the crickets. I would 100% do the crickets.
Yeah.
Getting tattoos every day, you gotta wait in a chair like this. You're with your shirt off. They put it on, then they paint you, and then you have them on for days, and you have to take it off with this feel. It's a whole thing. But Corinne and Christian Tinsley are geniuses, and they're amazing, and they're the people who did it. They made it so bearable and lovely and quick. But I mean, come on, we can eat a cricket.
Yeah.
You and I can eat a cricket.
Yeah.
Come on.
Have you ever?
No? Do you have one in your pocket?
No.
How weird would it be if you just had a handful of crickets in your pocket? That'd be crazy.
If it was alive too, just like bouncing around
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. You
Well,
have
unless it
live
was
crickets.
like, my Jiminy Cricket and it was like,
Oh
my
God.
conscience. Yeah.
How is he, by the way?
I heard that he got eaten by Nicholas Hoult, so, not great.
By the way, it could be like that whale scene in Pinocchio, but crickets now in Nick Holt's stomach.
And been trying to bust out forever.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So we've heard you tell us who is the worst, but who was the best on Renfield.
Oh my God, we can look. First of all, we have Chris McKay is incredible. Ryan Ridley's the writer. Nick Hoult, Nick Cage, Awkwafina, Adrienne Martinez, Shorey, my mommy, is incredible in this.
I'm glad that you call her your mom.
She is my mommy. She's
Yeah.
the best, and she acted like my mommy when we were on set. She was the best. I love that woman. So
No fear there either, because she's an imposing
her
presence.
voice is like so incredible.
Oh my God.
You could just listen to her talk
Yeah.
forever. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you guys find that mother-son dynamic? Like,
It was
how did you-
immediate. The second we started the first scene, I started improvising. She was laughing out loud, and she's like, "Oh, I love you," and I was like, "Oh, great. This is gonna be great." She's just a kind, good person.
Yeah.
And also happens to be probably won an Oscar
She
or
deserves
nominated.
one.
Yeah, something.
I also have to ask, where does Renfield's hate for ska originate? And where do you stand on that beautiful
I
combination
just played a
of like,
character who, in the after party, I had a ska band when I was young, so I got to perform a ska song. And it was so fun, and I just learned to say pick 'em up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up as much as I could, and then I was in the band.
That's where ska originated. Like you start there with pick
You
it up,
gotta
pick
pick it up, pick it up,
Yeah.
and then you got a real big fish, and then you got a mighty boss tones, and then you got all that stuff. It was
Less Than
very
Jake,
fun.
yeah.
And then you got to like really kick your legs like that.
The skank and pickle,
You
right?
got it.
Yeah.
You got to skank and or pickle.
Yeah. But so
I like ska.
So you like ska?
Yeah.
Because
Am I
this
not allowed
movie
to like ska? I like
it gives ska a lot of trouble. Like I feel like there was a lot of
Undeserved trouble.
Yeah.
Undeserved trouble.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think that's the most unrealistic part of the movie?
Probably.
That someone doesn't like ska?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because how can you hate it?
Yeah, because Dracula must exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we
And
absolutely
in the
established that it's
IMDb
Nicolas
on
Cage.
this movie, you'll say Dracula does exist under trivia?
Uh-huh.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Dracula. True. Yes. So if you had to work for a monster in real life, which one would you choose and why?
One of the Universal monsters?
Yeah, Mummy, Creature from the Black Lagoon,
Ooh, wouldn't be Invisible
Man.
Man. I'd be too anxious. He's always around. Wouldn't be Black Lagoon because it'd be too much water all over the place. Probably not. I mean, if you're doing werewolf, then you're only basically dealing with half the time. I think I would probably do Frankenstein. I guess you say Frankenstein's monster. I think that would be
yeah.
really fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a good team up. Me and Frankenstein's monster. I could see that being like, remember like 48 Hours or Lethal Weapon? I feel like that could be a real good vehicle for me and Frankenstein.
So you're the Eddie Murphy, and Frankenstein's monster is the Nick Nolte.
Maybe we're both Nick Nolte.
Okay.
Who knows? Then Eddie Murphy's in it too.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's 3 of us together.
Playing himself?
Great, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be 72 hours? No, it'd be more than that. Yeah, 72 hours will work.
Yeah, okay. It's in between.
I love this idea. What about a cop comedy with me and Frankenstein?
Yeah.
Can we pitch that real quick? Can one of you guys write that?
It's going on IMDb, so it's got to be real.
Great.
Yep, perfect.
Great. Can you
It's
give
on
it its own page?
Yep.
Call it, okay, great. So I guess now it'd just be Schwartzenstein, I guess it would be.
Schwartzenstein, okay.
Schwartzenstein, and it's a buddy comedy. Let's put this on and say in development.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
We're
It's
talking
in.
about
We
it.
started. This is development.
Can you really do this?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So make Schwartzenstein, put it in put it in development. Let's
Yeah.
see how long it lasts there.
Okay.
Right now it's me and Frankenstein, who's the biggest star right now? Make that person Frankenstein.
No, we just got to get the real Frankenstein.
Oh, the real one?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, Frankenstein's monster.
Yep, sorry.
Okay, pop it on there.
Okay.
And direct it, make Edgar Wright's gonna direct it. Or
Oh, okay.
Taika Waititi, or, let's get someone real nice.
Christopher Nolan.
Oh my God, Christopher Nolan.
He'd love that.
Let's put this on the internet let's see how long it lasts on the internet.
Yeah.
Can you really do that?
Sure.
Great.
I am Count Dracula.
You win.
So, Nicolas Cage may have denied being a immortal vampire in the past, but that photo from 1870, if you've seen it,
Oh, okay.
that is a real man from 1870, and
Wow.
it's dead on. After working with him on Renfield, is there any chance that Nicolas Cage might be an immortal vampire or Count Dracula?
I mean, I think his performance in the movie was really good enough for maybe someone to believe that. I think what I do know is that, I mean, his transformation into that character was something that was super inspiring to see. I mean, he took it so seriously and looked very, very scary, I'd say.
Absolutely. And is that creepy to be around when somebody is taking on Dracula so seriously?
Well, there's something very there's a presence there as Dracula, as you would imagine Dracula would have. I mean, and that's really the beauty, I think, of filmmaking. The way, like, it was so many different departments that added to that whole vibe. But yeah, when he stepped into a room in that garb, I think it definitely there's an air there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sure. And we also learned today that Nicholas Hoult ate about 100 crickets for his role of Renfield.
Yes, he did.
But what was your biggest challenge on this film?
Oh man, I think my biggest challenge was definitely maybe keeping up. I think, like, we had some intense action sequences, and I think, I've done other action movies where I didn't have to be quite as, like, agile or tactile or in control of my body in a way that, like, I'm actually going to help protect people and things like that. I'm more of, like, I've flung out a window into a hole in the wall kind of, things like that.
Yeah.
So that was cool, but I mean, we had such an amazing stunt team, and we trained, like, so much. We all did. So we really wanted, and Chris really wanted us to be taking part of the action. So that was pretty fun.
Did you like that? Is that something you want to keep doing as far as, like, getting in there and the stunts?
Oh yeah, I think I'm always really down for the challenge. Whether it looks good, I have no idea. But I'm always game. It's fun, and obviously if you trust the people around you, you can go flying into a wall and, like, you don't really feel like you're gonna, like, die. So yeah.
Cool. And better than eating 100 crickets, I assume.
Yes, I'd say. I definitely not for me. Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't ever try or think about it, or no?
Chris McKay a couple of times was like, I will eat bugs with you out of solidarity to Nick, and I was like, I'm not. I mean, you can go eat your solidarity bugs, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Also, gotta ask, where does Renfield's hate for ska originate? And where do you stand on ska? Because this movie just really takes it to task.
Someone involved in the script writing process has a problem with ska. That is one of the first things that I definitely noticed. I don't mind ska. I really love, like, Catch-22.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like, Real Big Fish, I love them. So yeah, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, do I listen to it all the time now? No. But
No. It's rare that you
support-
pick it up. Yeah.
yeah, pick it up. Put it down, pick it up. Yeah.
You know when something crazy happens and someone's like, it's okay, I've seen way worse. Everything I saw you do today is gonna be my way worse.
Nicolas Cage may have denied being an immortal vampire in the past, but that photo from 1870, if you've seen it, is kind of a dead ringer. If you've seen that, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So after working with him on Renfield, how likely is it that Nicolas Cage is actually Count Dracula?
The funny thing is, he uses phrases. There are phrases and words that he uses that sound like somebody from the past. So I wouldn't put it past him to be. Yeah.
Are there other, besides being ageless, are there other real-life characteristics that Cage and Count Dracula share?
He drinks blood.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was shocking.
Yeah.
He can turn to mist.
He can. Also can command rats.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's real. That's an important skill to have, especially as an actor. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have a talking crow? He really does. Have a talking crow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty Dracula. Like,
I think
he's
the
got- he's
evidence
kinda
is
gothic.
starting to stack up.
Yeah.
yeah. Also, Nicholas Hoult ate about 100 crickets over the course of Renfield.
And cockroaches. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the biggest challenge that you faced while making this movie?
To stop Holt from eating
All the crickets.
All the crickets, because we were a low budget movie. We needed to conserve those crickets. So
And he's got them all in his teeth and everything.
yeah.
Like you were trying to get a close up, sir.
yeah, please. And he wasn't even on camera that day.
Between Holt and the crickets and Cage and the blood, this was a really complicated production.
Yeah. Honestly, doing practical effects is really hard, and it's hard because it's time consuming, and we have a certain amount of days we have to shoot the movie in. So to try to get our days and to try to get as many shots as we want, and all the things that we want to have happen, to be able to try to do a movie like this with practical effects that's honestly the biggest challenge. Cage doing all of the makeup, that's a 4-hour job just getting the makeup on, and then a 12-hour day, and then taking the makeup off.
Yeah.
So those are the challenges that we faced every day. And shooting in New Orleans with the weather was a challenge.
For me, it was writing a treatment, and then watching Ryan Ridley write a script, and then watching Chris McKay direct a bunch of actors as they acted. It was a lot of work.
Were you standing over Ryan while he was writing, like making sure? Ooh.
Not even a little bit.
That's quite a mug right there, too. Is there a head for every cricket that he ate?
Almost, and I have trouble with this mug because sometimes I want to drink from it, and other times I want to kiss it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, you have your mouth on it.
That's the important part.
Yeah. And you tried some of those bugs as well, right? Like, to get in the feel. How was that?
I felt peer pressure to do it when Nick was doing it, and I tried the potato bug, and that was really bad.
Yeah.
That I never want that taste in my mouth. There was parts and pieces that took a long time to get out of my mouth. No thanks.
Yeah. Well, I noticed with The Walking Dead and Lego Batman, you both found these new layers to classic characters, kind of changing our conception of who these people are. Why is Dracula one of the most misunderstood horror villains that you wanted to tell this new tale about him?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, Dracula, for me, Dracula's always been this really kind of romantic, character, somebody who I've always felt sorry for on some level. You can't help who he is, and there's something kind of sad about that. And if you look at some of the various interpretations, whether it's the Bela Lugosi or the Christopher Lee or Frank Langella or Gary Oldman, in particular the later stuff with Langella and Oldman, you really do find him to be incredibly vulnerable, and that's something that I think that's true of all the Universal monsters. They all have, Frankenstein is a little child, and the Wolfman can't help that he was bitten and is, has to turn into a werewolf. So, to me, there's that incredible sympathy that you have for those characters is why they're so. I think they mean so much to us still to this day.
Yeah, there's always an element of human tragedy that the monster is built around, which I think is something really unique to the Universal monsters. But I think Dracula doesn't get enough credit. Dracula is like a mythic character, I think on par with Batman, where there's like these core elements that make Dracula Dracula, but you could literally do almost any story with that character in any genre and it would still work.
It's interesting, and he is a Batman, so yeah, that
There you go.
perfectly works.
I am